All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome to Coffee Break. I am Spencer Campbell, aka Gila RPGs. Every Sunday, I sit down with friends, fantastic people in the indie RPG scene, and we just share a coffee or a drink or whatever and chat about whatever is exciting for us going on right now. This week, I am joined by the stylish, the incredible, the fighting machine, Nick Butler. Nick, would you mind introducing yourself to folks?
Hey, what is good, chat? It's your boy. Follow my blade. I'm too cool for coffee. I got my boathouse right here. We gonna have some fun today. Let's get it.
Wait, what's Boathouse? I don't know what Boathouse is.
Yo, it's like a milkshake,
Oh,
kind
okay.
of.
Sick. Very
Yeah,
cool.
it's like mad healthy. It's like a juice smoothie.
I should probably do something like that, but I'm just gonna drink black
I ain't,
coffee
I
and
ain't
then my
drinking it for the health reasons. I ain't gonna
okay.
hold you. I took it because it was in the fridge, and I was like, I like mango, and I asked my missus, could I have it, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, bet I'm about to drink this on stream. It's
There
gonna
we
be
go.
dope.
Now you just got to get that Boathouse sponsorship. That's the next thing. So you get that
hey,
connection.
hey, if y'all watching this for some reason, holla at me. Boathouse Groove, tiebreaker, let's go.
They
Yo, that shit would go hard. Like,
That'd be
like
pretty
that
cool.
name.
That's not bad. That's not
That's
bad,
a cool name, yo. Like Boathouse Groove, put the little TM on that joint.
Nick.
Nah, hold on. That's the they ain't got the TM. They got the registration. That's a little R on the side.
Oh, they get the R. Okay. I
Yeah,
like the TM better.
yeah. I'm saying right. More protections.
I don't know anything about anything, but yeah, that
Don't
sounds
don't
right.
take anything we say as legal advice, chat.
I'm the last person you should ask for legal advice on like IP and stuff like that. So yeah. Uh hell
Chat
yeah.
chat's gonna come through and get sued and be like, "Follow my blade got me fucked up."
That Nick, he told me. He told me. Uh well hell yeah, Nick. It's great to like actually like sit down and chat with you and cuz I know you through Twitter. I always like to think about like when I first got to know somebody or something like that. And I got to know you because of Tidebreaker, which you mentioned before. So, and you've got the awesome hat on, the
Yeah,
Tidebreaker
we
hat.
got we got merch. I'm not selling enough of these beanies. You see this shit fit right? Like this looks small. Like, I look good in this shit.
I
Y'all
actually,
could look good too.
I'm
I'm
in, I'm,
saying.
I'm in the market as a guy who doesn't have a lot of hair going up here. I always could use a new beanie, so I think I'm gonna have to check one out because
Yeah, yo,
it gets
beanies are
cold
where
in
it's at.
Chicago.
We got fitted cats too.
Wait, what kind of hat is that?
Oh, a fitted. It's like a baseball cap.
Oh, fitted. Yeah, 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 okay, like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be cool. I gotta get a beanie for sure, because it's
Actually, nah, they ain't fitted. They're snapbacks.
okay, okay.
I would be spending way too much money to be getting my fucking fitteds.
That's yeah, that's that's a real investment in the merch realm there. I'm uh,
I'm, s-
I'm gonna get a beanie. I'm gonna get a beanie. It's Chicago winter right now, so it's cold. I need something on my poor shiny skull.
mm.
Oh hell yeah. Jeremy Gage of the Draw Your Dice or Have You Played This podcast is here. He says we're his two favorite people in the combat genre. Hell yeah.
Hey, what up, Jeremy? I've been on his show too. That was a
Jer-
fun ass time, yo.
Jeremy's
This
awesome.
this man does his motherfucking homework.
Right?
Like like Holmes had my whole rap sheet. Nigga did like a background check on me and shit. Pulled up
I
my credit
know.
history.
Knows the
Uh,
last three places that you
had the
lived.
had the sheet looking up like, damn, 700 plus, not bad.
Pretty good, pretty good. That's awesome. Yeah, Jeremy is an absolute amazing person to talk to. And yeah, it's like wildly smart, knows the ins and outs of how to run an interview. And I just kind of sit here and I go like, "Oh, games are fun. Tell me about games." So it's very
Yeah, always knows his shit, yo.
yeah.
Like if I ever start doing interviews on the other end, I'm about to just study Holmes real quick.
Yeah. That that's one of my favorite podcasts. And my favorite thing about Jeremy's podcast is that he started it because he wanted to learn how to do game design. So he just started interviewing designers so that he could become a better designer, and it like blossomed out into this thing that became like an awesome resource for anybody who's interested in design. Um, it's very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. We had a good chat about some game dev shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Um, well, speaking of like game devs and specifically Tidebreaker, because you got the beating on, you mentioned it earlier. On the insane chance that somebody at home doesn't know what Tidebreaker is, please, can you just like give a quick rundown of what Tidebreaker is so that folks at home would know what it is?
Tidebreaker, soon to be open source. Come hack my shit. I'm saying I got a whole system to help you do it, kind of shit.
Yes.
Anyway, but yeah, that don't tell you what it is. But yeah, Tidebreaker, cinematic tabletop action role playing, collaborative world building, lightning fast, tactical. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a game that promotes its players. You know what I'm saying? Like you get on the table on a tiebreaker and you make somebody crack up, you gonna get bonus dice. And I know motherfuckers like to roll a lot of dice. So come play my shit, feel good about yourself, keep it heroic. You know what I'm saying? That's tiebreaker.
God, what a ridiculously good pitch that is. What a ridiculously good pitch. I do want to talk about the open source stuff eventually, just because I'm super into it. But like I know like the reason I'm super excited about Tidebreaker and all the stuff you're doing is because you lean into that like let's just have fun, let's make this stylish, let's make this fast, let's make this freaking fun, and like Tidebreaker is that. Um I'm because you mentioned like a lot of things like fast, fun,
Mhm.
stylish combat, but also like collaborative world building, but also like supporting the players themselves instead of like supporting the characters. Like those are three really cool things that I want to talk about. Let's talk about stylish combat because you you like fighting games, right? Like I've seen you talk a lot
Hell
about fighting
yeah.
games.
Oh, you know it.
I
Yeah,
know.
Street Fighter for life, baby. Let's go.
Is Street Fighter your favorite?
Yeah, yeah. It's always a heads up between Street Fighter and Soul Calibur, but
Okay.
like I've been leaning more back to Street Fighter lately because like people don't really play Soul Calibur.
I
So like as a spectator, it's
yeah.
kind of like I'll be on YouTube and you don't really see Soul Calibur VODs. You know what I mean?
Mm. The last time I played Soul Calibur was
Probably
4.
PlayStation 2, right? Because
Is
everybody I talked to was like, yeah, Soul Calibur 2, that was the joint.
I played the one where they added Link to the game. That's the one that I.
That's Soul Calibur 2.
All right, there we go. That's that's my last Soul Calibur
Hit you
experience.
with the whole JoJo's like, I know what you're gonna say before you say it, kind of shit.
That's the last Soul Calibur I played. I did play a lot more Street Fighter growing up. I played with my cousin, and he would just beat my ass again and again and again, and I never got good. I'm a, admittedly, I'm just a button masher, Nick. I'm so bad at having the patience to learn to actually play the
Yo,
game.
I tell people like it's like you gotta just have fun while learning.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like it's one of them hobbies where it's just like the beauty is the progression.
Oh, that's
You know what
cool.
I'm saying? So it's like the same thing as like playing like League or Magic.
Yeah.
You know, like you just find new stuff and you just go, oh shit, that works.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I my like the game that I got competitive in was StarCraft. I was a huge StarCrafter. So totally different genre, but I understand that idea now when you pitch it that way of like having fun with the progression and like when you suddenly realize like a build timing works and you're like, "Oh, there's a 5-second window suddenly where I can just demolish this opponent because like I've got my build ideally put together." Like that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
that's
dig
fighting
that.
games in a nutshell. Like you just gotta like look at them as like it's not really about the victories at first. You know what I'm saying? It's just about growing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like you land that one combo in trial mode and you're like, damn, I did it. And then like you practice it a couple of more times and you're just like, wow, I can land that consistently, like in the lab. And then
Right.
after a while, you're like, I land this like whenever you fuck up in a match. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, don't jump. I'm
Right.
about to hit you for a quarter of your life bar. Don't do it. You know, but like it's like steps to the growth. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the fun part. Like you could start off by just saying like, you know what? If he jumps, I'm gonna uppercut him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
every time, and
Right.
then like that uppercut could just be like your down hard punch or something like that. Like you
Mm.
just a little bow. But then after a while, you're like, okay, I got the inputs on my DP right. About to short you can his ass every time. Like, don't jump.
Right.
Like, you better stay on the ground. We boxing. Ain't none of that acrobatic shit in this house.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
love for Voldo in chat right now. How do you feel about Voldo? Is Voldo the
Yo,
real weird one? Like the real
yo, yeah,
creepy? That's
yeah,
like,
yeah. The dude that be crawling on his
yeah.
back and shit. Yo, my uncle is actually one of the dudes that got me into Soul Calibur because I came to his house when he was first dating my auntie because he's my uncle-in-law, right? Like 20 some odd years ago. So this is like Soul Blade, not
Okay.
even Caliber, right? Um, and he like did his grab, and Voldo's grab, like he like violates you, cuz.
Yes, I remember that.
Like he puts you on his lap and just starts thrusting you until you like pop up off of him. And I was like, motherfucker, he did not just rape me.
It's
And so I was
it's
like, I
intense.
will I will avenge myself. I came back like 5 years later from Laban, whooped his ass. So that was like my little Soul Calibur revenge story. But that Voldo traumatized me, yo.
There's
and,
a
and then and then the fucked up thing was my little brother got into Soul Calibur, started maining Voldo, and was whooping my ass too.
right.
And I was like,
The cycle
so like,
repeats.
yo, the Voldo matchup is something I have an intimate familiarity with because of that.
Yeah.
So every time I seen a Voldo in ranked, I was like, you and me, you're gonna pay for this. You
I've
picked
got
the wrong character.
I've got decades of baggage here that I'm gonna
Decades
take
of
out on
beating
you.
just you. Like, and you picked like Nightmare or some shit, like I'd have been, you would have wrecked me. But Voldo, nah. It's like
I was
it's
born to
like the
defeat you.
fucking superpower evil side, like Ichigo Kurosaki masked down kind of shit. I'm like, I ain't want to go hollow, but
I love
now we
this.
both blind because I pulled my hat over
There
my
we go.
eyes. Me and Voldo.
There's a great so Dino Fuzz in chat says you can't have a conversation with Nick without him making you realize that fighting games are a real metaphor for life, which feels I'm getting that real quick here after just a couple of minutes. I'm like I feel like I understand Nick as a person. I understand life better now that I understand fighting games.
Fighting games are life, yo. Like if I do anything as a TTRPG designer, it's to get y'all nerds to play Street Fighter.
Is that the goal? Is that the goal? So that you can whoop all of our asses time and time again once we get on.
No, I want y'all to beat me. I'm bored.
Oh, all right. You're looking for the
Cause
challenge.
like the thing about it is that you get to a point where like you don't really have even matches anymore. You're
Mm,
either getting like stomped by people that like no life the game, or you're beating scrubs.
right.
I.e., I'm in silver in ranked. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like like once you hit silver, it's just kind of like, man, like everybody like doesn't know how to play the game, or is like on this shit every goddamn day,
Mm,
and they're
yeah,
like smurfing. Like I'm either getting smurfed or noobed. Like it's just like, oh, I just want like good matches.
right.
Like
Well, I can't promise I'll be that for you anytime soon, but I will go try out Street Fighter after this and just get my ass whooped
yeah,
for a little while and
yeah,
see how
man.
that
Street
goes.
Fighter Five like $10 right now.
All right, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, like go get it.
Is it
But we got a whole Discord of just like RPG dudes
is
that
it
play Street Fighter.
is it cross-platform? Do I need to like? Okay, cool, excellent. So I can just get it on anything.
PS4 and Steam. Like
Okay,
you could go back and forth on them.
right on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I need
Yo,
something.
Capcom sponsor me.
Yeah,
Fuck.
wait a minute.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling for y'all.
You need this like smoothie sponsorship. You need the Capcom sponsorship.
Boathouse, Capcom, tiebreaker. Know what I'm saying?
What a
Like,
powerful powerful trio right there. I can't wait for Capcom to make a video game about Boathouse. That's the next
yo,
connection.
Capcom makes like a video game about fucking smoothies and shit.
It could happen, right? That's what we're making happen here. We're making a
Like only
powerful
Japan, huh?
triangle. Yeah. Uh
Smoothie Sean saves the world.
I could see Boathouse being like the go-to cafe that shows up in like the next Persona game. Like we were hanging out.
I know there's an artist in this stream right now getting ready to draw Smoothie Sean.
It can happen. It can happen. It should happen.
Like I called it. I called it. When you're done, you tag me on Twitch because I gave you the idea.
So you've obviously played
I
fighting
mean, not
games.
Twitch, Twitter.
Twitter,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, go on,
you
sorry.
know, get it.
Yeah.
So you've played fighting games a long time, and like, so what inspired Tidebreaker for you? Because obviously, like, fighting games inspired it. Was it like a for you? Was it like no game out there was doing what you wanted with combat, and you were like, I gotta like fix this, like I gotta do this, or was it like, or was it just something totally different for you?
All right, hold up. Dino Fuzz, you still in the chat? You can't. You gotta tell me. I can't see the chat.
Oh yeah. The last thing DynaFuzz says is I can count on one hand the number of times where I've beaten Nick. Um,
Ask him. Do I do the Smunchy story or no?
uh, DynaFuzz is here, so they have
Yeah,
heard the question. I will let you know what they say.
yeah. I'm gonna put it on him,
Okay.
like specifically. That's my bestie in real life.
Oh hell yeah, that's awesome. I think there's like a slight delay between when we say things and when
Yeah,
that comes through.
it's like 10, 15 seconds,
Yeah.
right?
So
But by the time they hear us do this explanation, he should have heard us ask the question,
hopefully,
pretty much.
hopefully
Yeah, I
that's the
mean,
goal at least. But we're filling the air perfectly.
find out Holmes went to the bathroom and was just sitting here awkward.
Right.
Like, does he tell this Munchie story? Find out next time when Spencer does another interview with somebody else.
The Smunchy story is all right. Wax poetically about why you did it, though, is what Dino Fuzz says.
Challenge accepted. Okay, Smunchy story. Um, so once upon a time, when Nick was a much younger and even more dope game designer, I've gotten less dope over the years.
Dang.
Yeah, it happens. It's age, you know. Like,
He's
um, I was in a particular Discord server that was for the R/RPG design community,
mm.
and I was doing something called what would he call it at first? It was called Composure. Separate story for that. I'll get to that later. Because lots of name changes later, it became something else, and then I dropped it.
Okay.
um, but yeah, but I was doing my thing. Everybody was all like arguing about D&D
Mm.
and their like little shitty like knockoff versions of it. Like not even like OSR doing their own thing. Community is just like I'm literally just going to make D&D but do it better.
Right.
Like
The Heartbreaker.
yeah, mad heartbreakers, right? And it was just like heartbreaking to watch because like they would never come to the realization that this was a heartbreaker that they were making. They were like just still at that like yeah, I got it. I'm like no, but your games are whack. You're all whack, except for like a couple of people. One of them, my man's Blue Tuesdays,
Mm.
who will come up later in this story.
Okay.
Actually, a couple of people were standouts, like exceptions to that rule, right? But a lot of folks were just kind of doing the same old shit. And then there was a lot of folks just yelling at them for doing the same old shit. But
Mm.
like I'm gonna do this in a negative context because it's more interesting and Twitter likes outrage. So,
Right.
so take my story with a lot of salt. um, not a grain, just the whole shaker.
Right. Just dump it out. Screw off the cap.
Yeah, just dump it out, throw it behind you, like repel some ghost. Just use my story to keep your house haunt free. um, so yeah, I ended up meeting Smudgy. Smudgy is the CEO of Smudgy Games, and at the time he was hiring some college kid to write his flagship game, Paths Worlds of Adia, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game.
Mm.
At the time, though, it wasn't, because that kid was whack. um, and like I saw these rules, and I was like, wow, I could definitely do better than this, right? And he was like, "Word, show me." And I was like, "Smachi, you're white. I'm supposed to be Morpheus. You need to show me your kung fu."
That's right.
Like, damn, Neo, you trying to flip the script on me? What's wrong with you? But like, what ended up happening is that I was like, look, man, give me a month, and I'll put out a prototype for the dopest game that you done seen. And if you don't believe me, ignore me. But if you do, you gotta hire me to finish it. And he was like, okay, cool. And so I came out a month later with the prototype for Tidebreaker. At the time though, we had called it Octane,
Okay.
which ended up being taken by another designer who made like this really neat twisted metal RPG
Oh, hell yeah.
with that name. So I don't remember who it was, but like if you Google the Octane RPG, you'll find the twisted metal game that guy did, which turned out being pretty cool. But I was like, shucks. Gee golly willikers, I'm gonna have to change this name one day. uh, but yeah, this Smudgy ended up hiring me for that.
Nice.
And then like I want to say like a year later, I ended up with the Tidebreaker Alpha. We were like, I want to say like 100 pages in at that point, probably like 75 to 100. But we had the core system like completely done. Um, but what ended up happening is that Smudgy took off with his card game Frey, which is also based off the Paths universe,
Mm.
and oh, his name is like Muriai or something. I can never pronounce that. Like, but the guy that made Frey, it's a beautifully simple game.
Mm.
Um, it's got like kind of like a love letter kind of vibe,
Oh.
and sort of like in terms of simplicity, but the mechanically it's nothing like love letter. It's more of like a really stripped down magic kind of shit, if I recall.
Oh, I'd get
It's been
into
a
that.
long time since I looked at Frey, but I saw it. I was like, wow, this is cool. Like that'll take off. But so yeah, he ended up doing Frey. He ended up doing a bunch of shit with Paths, and then he found Blue Tuesdays. Because I was like, yo, have you not seen this kid?
Mm.
And Smushy was like, herp derp, I'm a busy guy. I do business and stuff, like IRL. Um, and I was like, Smushy, stop hiring him. What are you doing? Like, it's easy money. The nigga draws his own shit. And he was like, easy money? Good point. And so he ended up hiring Blue Tuesdays. And this kid is mad talented. And they ended up working together to come up with Parslings. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, Parslings is fucking beautiful. Like I have a
Yeah.
copy right here.
It's gorgeous.
Ugh.
I remember
It's like I
seeing
haven't even opened it yet, but like look at that cover art.
it's really gorgeous. I remember
Like
seeing
this
like
shit,
it's
this shit is
it's
fucking pretty, dude.
yeah. It uses cards, right?
Yeah, it's like a deck building game that's also a tabletop RPG. Like
Right.
mechanically, it's very interesting. Um, like I said, I haven't done a deep dive into it yet, but like Leo was working on the game back when we were in the Discord together, so that was
Mm.
like years ago. So like I was seeing it as it was developing,
Right.
Like I will probably like definitely this weekend actually just do a deep dive into parcelings since I don't just drop the ball like that. You know what I mean? But shout out to Blue Tuesdays. Like he's a good friend of mine. He helped me a lot during the development of Tiebreaker by just keeping my head on straight for the most part.
Yeah.
Um yeah, But like yeah, he's a cool dude. But wow, like my mind just completely blanked because I was like so busy like fucking like pitching Leo. I was like, wait, I was telling you the tiebreaker's doing.
Yeah, like I want like how like Tiebreaker gets like inspired because somebody like you basically say like I can write something really awesome and I'll take on that challenge. And like is this being inspired by or like is the thing that you're making because you're like somebody want like you want to prove that you can make something really cool to this spongy guy, or is it like you're playing all these fighting games and you're like I want to capture fighting games and bring it to like the tabletop space because like
Like
that's
the
what it is for
funny,
me. I want to bring
yeah,
video games to the tabletop space because I'm obsessed with
yeah.
video games.
The funny thing is, it was more like I was trying to sneak in the Street Fighter bits because I don't know if you're aware, but tabletop nerds don't tend to be really confident about fighting game stuff. And like
Mm,
almost every time you mention this shit on Twitter, people are like, but buttons and combinations and no.
that's me. I'm scared.
There's mechanics. I also hate game mechanics. And the whole genre is defined by them.
Pretty accurate.
Get it away! and so I'm like, no, it's fine. It's there's just tidbits. It's like
Mm,
homages. It's not actually Street Fighter. It's
right.
a good narrative game with light rules. You can ease into it. It's okay.
It's gonna
Don't
be
let
okay.
it scare you. And so it's like I find myself a lot of the time when I mention fighting game shits in regards to tabletop RPGs, I have to like convince people that I'm not putting homework on them.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know what I mean? Because like there's negative connotations with the fighting game genre. You know what I mean? So it's like
Well,
I
because it's
tend,
one that you get better at, right? Like that's the whole thing. Is
yeah,
it's like something that you literally go into like the lab and train like and get your like mechanically perfectly well-tuned machine, which is like something a lot of us who just play
yeah.
in the imagination
It
space are like I that's scary to me. I don't I don't want to
Yeah, and like
practice.
I don't blame him. That's a completely valid concern. It's like I don't want to play a tabletop RPG to be competitive and like training at it. I
Mm,
just want to grab the mechanics and tell stories about punching Nazis out of windows. And I am here to assure you, you can do that. You do not have to train to play Tidebreaker. It's a
hell
very
yeah.
simple dice system. Like you basically go, oh hey, look, a 3. I didn't get a success on that, but anything above that 3, you get a success. It's a die pool system. If you've played World of Darkness or any of their games, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I promise you.
That's
Like I've
awesome.
done like small like variations on it with how explosions and rerolls and shit works, but like it's a die pool system with like a la carte ability thing. Like if you've seen like mutants and masterminds or
Mm.
heroes or champions, shit like that. It's that without the math.
Yes. Yes. Like and that's what I want to talk about is like that without the math. So like because when I think about Tidebreaker and like the pitch that you gave in the beginning, it is about like fast and stylish combat, right? So like for so many games that are combat focused, that can mean like a lot of math. It can mean like a lot of like
Yeah,
steps
it's
and it's very procedural and like it feels totally devoid of like the fast flow of like a fighting game when you watch that sort of thing. So like how do you like for you what does like fast combat mean? And it doesn't have to be like mechanically, but just like what does that feel like to you in like a tabletop space?
well, it's just got to be like the combat is not lasting like an hour per turn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you play trad games and they're like, okay, so I did all of that to swing and probably miss.
Mhm.
or I'm a spellcaster and I swung and ended the combat because I put everybody to sleep.
Right.
Because your spell description took too goddamn long, not because you can't sleep. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you because you actually cast sleep,
Right.
and it ends the combat. You know, it's like you do one of the others because control spells are really good in trap games, but like it takes a really long time to resolve.
Yeah. Really long time.
Because like you cast that sleep spell, and no matter how fast you are, like if you're casting at multiple targets, that's multiple will saves,
Right.
you know, or forts or whatever, right? Um, and tiebreaker is just kind of like, did you hit the number?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like you don't really have those defense rolls,
Right.
um, but like you can do those defense rolls for pretty much anything else. Like but it's on your turn,
That's
and
cool.
that defense roll is also tied into your counterattacks and stuff. So it's like if you're familiar with Borderlands,
Yeah.
um, where
Very.
like you know, like when you get shot up in Borderlands and you go down on one knee,
Yeah.
and then like you shoot some mook in the face and you're like, ha, 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 I love violence, and then you're back up again because that's how Borderlands dudes get up, right? But yeah, Tiebreaker's health system works exactly like that.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
so like down to the health system, down to just every per turn interaction, it comes down to a single die pool, you describing this amazing thing you did, and then getting some cool effects out of it, right? um and that's where it's all particularly faster than a lot of other games with a
Mm.
combat focus. Like it's never going to be fast as like a PBTA game where it's just kind of like I rolled a 12, give me
Mm.
my extra effects, and then the popcorn initiative shit that most of those games do like
Yeah.
bounces off in the net sky, right? And where the GM is not rolling.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like it won't be that quick. It'll be somewhere in the middle.
Because for you tactics is interesting, right?
Yeah.
And I think I oftentimes say like with PBTA games, I think they're actually very hard to run combat in them. Like I don't advise people to do them as one of your first combat games because it's so strange, like the popcorn initiative thing and like the GM not rolling. And I'm not saying that they don't, it's impossible, but they don't feel as tactically satisfying as some other games can. And for you, I know tactics is interesting. Like not only fast and cool combat, but like the tactical elements.
Tactically interesting too. Yeah. Like because for me it's one of those things where I don't want to make a choice between telling a cool story and then playing a cool game.
Right.
I play a role playing game because it's a role playing game.
There's a,
Like yeah,
there's
like
a
the
whole word
RP is in
there.
lowercase and the G is capitalized. You know, like I want to play a game where I am role playing in.
Right.
You know, so all of the mechanics in Tiebreaker facilitate role playing in a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The game stuff influences the role playing stuff influences the game. They're in harmony, right? Like they're not two separate things. People like to talk about mechanics versus fluff. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Or
Mm-hmm.
mechanics versus narrative. It's got to be a narrative game or it's got to be a crunchy game.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. This hill, this day, fight me.
Right.
um, because like I believe that like yo, if your game is whack, you have shit mechanics. Why am I playing your game?
Mm.
You know, like that's not a hot take. That is
No,
facts.
I hear you.
Like if your game is whack, why am I playing your game? You know, like sell me on your game. Why would I not be playing something else? You know, like I could be playing Honey Heist right now.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Grant because I see the Heart game in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Haven't read Heart, have read Honey Heist. Honey Heist is dope. Honey Heist has good mechanics. Honey Heist has a good setting. Honey Heist is a good game and it's 2 pages long. You know,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I don't think Grant chose between mechanics or fluff there
Right.
when he was writing that shit. He said, "I want to write a cool game about fucking bears robbing people." You know what I mean? And then he did. And then it became like the biggest physical game on itch.io. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's always
Like,
about
yo,
beating that bear. You always have to fight the bear.
yeah, fight the bear, man. Play Tekken. It always comes back
That's
to fighting
true.
games.
I forgot there's a bear in
There's
Tekken.
a bear in Tekken, yeah. um, but like I said, tiebreaker is a game that wants you to feel good about playing it.
I
You
love
know,
that.
yeah. So it's like all the mechanics are there to make you feel like a badass, right?
Yeah.
And where it doesn't do that on its own, it inspires other players to make sure that their friends are feeling like a badass
Hmm.
via like our showstopper mechanic is the primary thing that does that, right? So like you're like, hey man, like I punched a guy, and like your friends are kind of like, cool. But you're like, yo, like I jumped up and I punched him so hard he fell into the dirt and a cloud like popped off out of the ground. And then people are like, yeah.
Better.
And then you get extra dice for that. So you're just kind of like, it's okay to show off. I'm
Mhm.
not like making the turns unnecessarily long, and I'm getting a mechanical benefit out this. You say, ooh, mechanical incentive.
There you
Ding.
go. There you go. Cause like I've heard the horror stories of people in D and like playing D&D who want to do like even something as simple as like I jump over the rock and like throw my blade at the person. And it's like, well, first you got to do this, and then you got to do this, and I don't know
It's
if
an
you have the
acrobatics
the
check.
feat that lets you do that. And it's like, come on,
Yeah,
just let me
then
jump
you
over the
gotta be
rock.
trained to do that, and throwing a sword makes it an improvised weapon, and the sword is not balanced for throwing, so there's three more checks for that. One for the dex check to get over the rock, one for the strength check to throw the weapon, and a one for you probably fumbling it and falling on your ass and making a death
Not
save to
not
not go
shattering your
prone.
ankle. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, for hopping over a pebble.
It's so it makes me think about like the concept of challenge then. Like so because your game is about like stylistic, cool, feeling badass. Like for me, I lean so heavy into the power fantasy vibe with my games. Like I just want players to feel almost invincible. And I know that like that's not for everybody. So like how do you feel about like challenge in games? Like do you want the players to because I feel like with a fighting game and what you mentioned earlier, you're looking for somebody to challenge you. So like, is that captured a little bit in Tiebreaker, or is it like, now we're gonna just whoop whoop
The
on these
options are there.
enemies? Okay.
The options are there because like tiebreaker I write mostly for me, but I also want other people to play
Yeah.
it. So I don't write things set in stone in that way, but I give tools for GMs to do that. Personally, my GMing style is I like the players winning
Yeah.
more often than not because I just want them to feel good,
Right.
you know. But occasionally you have to throw curveballs at them because otherwise they get bored.
Right.
In my experience, that happens all the time. And it's like, yo, if I'm curb stomping everything, what do my abilities mean? You
Right.
know, like why are these any better than anything else if they all function at exactly the same level of efficiency?
Right.
You know, so occasionally you have to be like, hey man, this bad guy here, like he flies, so figure it
Right.
out. Like hopefully like that gives the guy that has a ranged attack to shine, that gives the melee dude an opportunity to do a cool trick where suddenly he finds a rope and he yanks that motherfucker down
Right.
out of the air, smashes him down, grabs him, and starts pounding him like a MMA fighter. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, you thought you was gonna get away, you ain't getting away from shit. And there's my showstopper chat. I got him to laugh.
There you go. There you go.
um, but you know, when you do those small curveballs and it's not like a haha gotcha kind of shit,
Right.
it's a hey, I'm giving you an opportunity to think and be creative.
Right. I
You
love
know what I'm
that.
saying?
I think that's huge. I think that's like that's what I try. That's what I like as well. Is like I'm with you. I like players for the most part winning, but if you do just truly give it like if you just give them the win every single time, then it's like why are we playing? Like why do I have these dice? Why do I have any of this stuff? Like we could just be like telling a story together instead of playing a game.
Yeah,
And
like
you
there's no tension there. You
right.
know, like outside of the die roll that like your friends did it, so they min-maxed it, so they're going to get the die rolls every time anyway. Or you're playing with the guy that's afraid to like engage with the mechanics, and he goes and he's hiding behind that. Oh man, but being a failure is really interesting. So like, I'm just gonna suck on purpose because that's who my character is. Um, which is like, it's valid to play a character that's not a fucking ace, right? At
Right.
everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's perfectly fine. I play those characters all the time. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like it's like the opposite end of the guy that like people tend to complain about for like just going and taking all the spotlight. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Where it's just like if you're like not engaging at all, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then it's just like you're being boring and toxic for a different reason. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, yo, like we're telling stories of heroes. Be a goddamn hero.
Right.
You know, it's like the same thing where like people are like, hey man, we're telling stories of good characters delving through dungeons. Don't be the dude that plays the chaotic evil guy just to piss off the paladin.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's in that same book.
That
You
makes
know what I'm
sense.
saying?
Yeah, that totally
Different
makes sense.
chapter, same book. Um, but yeah, that's a side digression. The whole point of that is that like you're saying like you don't want to just give them the victories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you want to be on the side of your players, but give them opportunities to shine.
Yeah.
You
Totally.
know, and there's different tools for that. Challenge is just one of them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Gets just having them have a spotlight moment, give them a chance to chat because like I said, like I was just shitting on the guy that's being shy, right?
Mm.
But that shy guy might just want to watch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's because there's an opposite side of a coin. You know what I'm saying? Like and sometimes you have to be able to talk to your players and meet them where they're at. You know,
100%.
and I think sometimes that the shy guy's like, yo, like you're playing with another guy that's like boombastic like me. You know what I'm saying? Um, and they're like, hey, you know, he's doing his thing, he's having fun. I don't want to butt in. Right.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But then it's like you gotta find something to like where they can feel like they're valid, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the important thing, right? Sometimes they just want to be quiet, they're not there, they're low energy for the day. Let them have their fun, let them watch. But if it's more of like a hey, I want to, but I have an obstacle, then get together and try to find a way around the obstacle.
Right.
Or through it, because you know, we tiebreakers, we break shit. You know, fuck that obstacle. Punch it. Use the shrapnel to kill a whole bunch of mooks while you're at it. You know what I'm saying? and then have your mage like snap his fingers and make the rocks explode into like lava. Like
I gotta
uh,
I gotta play a game with you, Nick, because you said that you're like the bombastic player, and I want to just sit at a table, and I would be the guy who would just watch and be like, "Fuck yeah, Nick's having a great time, and I'm having a great time too because of it."
yeah, I mean, like I believe in being entertaining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like every time I do an interview or something, like I was just telling my girlfriend before I go, I was like, I gotta go perform now. You
Mm.
know, so it's like if I don't feel like the person I'm talking to is having fun and the chat's not having fun, like I'm not doing my job. You know,
Yeah. I
so
Well, Chad is
it's
having
like
fun. You've already convinced Kat to pre-order Tiebreaker because of our talk about tactics and cool combat. So it is working.
fabulous. Holla at me. Join the Discord. Discord links in my bio. Follow my blade on Twitter. Get at me. Thank you for your support. Appreciate it. Yo, but like I was saying, like it's a performance.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm keeping in a buck here. Like if I'm performing, I'm still being me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like I'm trying to be fake about it. Um, but like yo, like you as a GM, as a player, I feel like you're there for your table.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So if that means putting on a show for your friends, do that. If that means just supporting your friends because like they're not vibing, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Then support them. If they just need the space, then fuck off.
Right.
Because that's supporting them too.
Right.
But like tiebreaker mechanically is built to help facilitate that through the stunt system, through having like the tricks allow you to build upon your character. Because some
Mm.
people aren't going to like immediately click with shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like you could have a more experienced player like, hey man, that dude's flying. Maybe add range to your next attack.
Mm.
I can do that? Yeah. You're a soldier. You have a gun, don't you? I do have a gun. Or like, you're the fucking Hulk, aren't you? Throw something at
Right.
me. And then you have ranged. You know what I mean? Or you're the Flash, just like fly up the wall and then like spring off and kick him like fucking Rock Lee style. Take the training weights off, Rock. You can catch Gara. Like,
Oh yeah.
um, Deck was a weeb.
um. So Dinofuzz mentions the banana showstoppers that Nick and I have seen. Just makes the game so exciting. I mean, it sounds like it. It's like if you love like flashy, cool, like badass combat, like you gotta play this game. You gotta get this game, and you gotta like Nick. Is there like a are there places where people can like see the gameplay? Like, do you have like streams of it anywhere? Because I want to I first of all, I just want to watch you play this game because I think it would be super fun to watch.
Hey, there's 2 weeks left on Black History Month. I am available on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. If you want to see me play the game and you got a stream,
There you go.
holla at me.
There we go.
But nah, for like, you know what I'm saying, for the here and now though, during the Kickstarter campaign, we partnered with Burst of Hope and Kiana S
Mm-hmm.
to do Archon. And they ran that on Tiebreaker. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, Utopia. Shout out to Utopia and
Utopia is
they
awesome.
they helped us out like big time there. So the Utopia stream, pretty good one for that. Um, I think Penny for a Tail ran it too.
Oh, sick.
But if they did it, I know Mitch and them is about to run it again. Oh
Oh yeah.
wait, nope, drop the rabbit out of the hat. Wrong idiom. Fuck. Cats got my tongue. No. That shit hurts. Cats have claws. um but yeah, like there's streams of us playing it.
Yeah.
Jeff fucking Stormer. Ever since I played with him, I always call him Jeff fucking Stormer because it's Jeff fucking
Because you have
Stormer.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff is the man. Yeah, but we was on Party in One, so there's a Party in One episode with me running Tiebreaker for
Hell
him.
yeah.
He suplexes a robot. It's pretty awesome.
What more could you need in life?
The ending, which I won't spoil.
Ooh, ooh.
Watch the Party in One episode. It's pretty dope.
Hell yeah. Yeah, big shout out to Jeff fucking Stormer. The Party One podcast
Jeff
is
fucking
very
Stormer.
good and definitely worth checking out. Um, you mentioned the idea that Tiebreaker's gonna have like an open license or something. What's
Yeah,
going on there? Tell me about this. I always like a
yeah.
license in SRD.
I gotta do like the contract joints for or whatever. For like probably gonna do it under like Creative Commons or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, like hack that shit now, yo.
Hell yeah.
I mean, as long as you put the logo on that shit, I got the logo just sitting on the website. Like just fucking copy and paste it. Like I don't
Nice.
care. If you really need the actual file, just DM me. I'm on Discord. But but like the final version of Tiebreaker is going to have a system called Grooves.
Okay.
And the groove system is pretty much just like specific directions for how you can take Tiebreaker's individual mechanics and mutate them to fit any theme that you want, as long as
Hell
it's
yeah.
somewhat involving punching people. Like it's an action game. Like if you want to do action noir, action supers, action fucking soul plane, you know what I mean? Like action soul plane meets snakes on a plane. Like I'm Tired of these Snoop Dogs on my motherfucking plane.
What a hell of a pitch that is.
Like, yeah, like we got that. You know what I'm saying? Let me pop the document open right quick.
Yeah.
Get you all that sneak peek.
Because I mean,
Share my screen or some shit.
I love SRDs, or I love games that have these sorts of Creative Commons licenses and stuff like that. So I'm like, are you imagining this is the sort of thing that people are making uh
Yeah, make your own shit.
just like a whole ass game out of like inspired by the Tidebreaker engine essentially?
Mhm.
Hell yeah. Absolutely
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah, like the way the grooves are supposed to work is you pretty much you take them, you get your setting, you do whatever you want with it, and then you're like, hey, Tiebreaker doesn't support this like directly,
Mm,
but here's my groove. So you add these rules changes to it, and then you just apply the rest of Tiebreaker to it, like verbatim. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So you just be like, hey, I want to make my ninja game where like we have to do like stealth, but we're also tracking how many shurikens we have or how
Mm,
many jutsus we're doing if you're going like more like the magical kind of ninjas and shit. You know what I mean? And then seeing how much noise that makes or blah blah blah
mm.
blah. And you want to make specific rules for that by altering our existing stealth rules. You know,
Yeah.
do your ninja groove. If you wanted to make it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and say that kicking Vanilla Ice off of the fucking stage gets you some bonus dice, do that. You know, you
You should
put
do
that
that.
in the front of your book. You know, no, I'm not doing that. I mean, that's a free idea, chat. If you want to make a TMNT groove, go for it. You have my blessing. That's the whole point of that. You
Nice.
know, how do you share screens? I want to like show folks
I think at the like if you click on the,
like present now.
yeah, that should
Yeah,
that should
all
do
right.
it.
Tab, bong, share that. All right, so check this out. Um, so here's the template, right? You
Uh-huh.
have the name, you have the purpose, the targets, and the details, right? The name is it's a name. Like
Okay.
like don't think too hard about
I won't.
that. The purpose is more of just kind of like I said, like, hey, I want to like implement shit that is featured in TMNT, or I'm trying to do like a particular genre, like I mentioned film noirs. I'm a huge fan of that.
Right.
But like, hey, I want to do like a Sailor Moon kind of game where like we're fighting for love in the daylight kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And like Tidebreaker, but make it
Yeah.
kind of joint. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your purpose, right? And the targets are going to be the specific rules alterations that you're making. Okay.
Mm.
So like you're saying, hey, I'm changing this in chapter 1, this in chapter 4, and this in chapter 6 or something. So it's
Okay.
just like technical writing documentation, but simplified.
Yeah.
And then the details are what you're actually doing. So and the grooves don't have to be complicated. Like see this one, Lead Breakers, the first one I made. All right. So the purpose, like, hey, like I want to make guns hurt more
Mm.
because like the standard Tiebreaker character is like bullets. Okay. But I changed the attrition rules, which is the standard attrition rules in Tiebreaker because we have a up down out health system where
Okay.
like if you're up you're fine, if you're down you're basically fine, you can still act normally, but like hey ouch that hurt, and out like you can only move or act,
Gotcha.
but anytime you counterattack you bounce back to up. So what attrition does is all the successes that are rolled against you increase the dr for you to bounce back up again.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, then we changed the ranged function, which is like, hey, my thing is now a gun, and the cover system. So the details is that any ranged attack automatically crits. And a crit in Tidebreaker is if you would go from up to down, you're now going from up to out. If you went from down to out, you're down to dead.
Mm.
Attrition doesn't go away, and cover gets blown up if it exceeds the DR, where a cover will normally just sit there forever. Um, so now guns are dangerous, like with very simple alterations there.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have some other stuff like I did stuff for spies, stuff for like phoenix kind of shit, stuff for like, hey, I want to be even more like Doctor Doom. Um, like we we have lots and lots and lots of rules for making your bad guys absolutely absurd. Um, and then we have things for being like that thief in Skyrim that just
Mm.
betrays everybody, including having a fence. So beacon of hopes and fence. Yeah,
This
so you could.
rocks. This fucking rocks.
Yeah, and we have some spots from Meg Baker from Apocalypse World.
Holy
Uh,
shit, nice.
yeah, that's hers. Me and her worked on that together, and then we have a few from Gabe Hicks, and so he did Phoenix Breaker, he
Mm.
did Limiter Breaker, and then he did Undead Breaker. Um, and I think we have one from Monkey's Paws Games. I'll check that later.
Sure.
But yeah, but he did a lot of the tables in the game.
Mm.
So like those are pretty cool. Oh my god, the tables! I have to show you the tables. Aaron Clooney, my fucking hero, like the dude that taught, like basically indirectly taught me how to make games through his work on Thrash RPG. He's a huge fan of making tables and shit.
Okay.
And so I was like, Aaron, if I throw a bunch of money at you, will you give me the dopest tables in the business? And he was like, hell's yeah.
Seems like a good deal.
Yeah, so like these aren't actually in the actual book yet. Can you see this window?
I just
Or
see the Phoenix Breaker. We're still on the. Oh, there we
okay,
go. Now
yeah,
I see it.
yeah. So check this out. This is name generators for different fucking genres. Like I said, like film noir stuff. So
Oh,
like you
nice.
could D66, you roll 23, you can be like, hey, I am Dina, and then roll like 62. Dina Tate, that's my name.
Mm,
Dina Tate, I'm wearing a red dress and I give hard boiled detectives a hard time.
nice.
But we have shonen stuff. So, i.e., this is your Japanese guy name
Mm,
or Czech or but NB, whatever, right? Everybody's valid. Superhero names. So you have for your civilians, so your regular American names, and your code names for now you can be Black Bolt.
hell
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, he actually
Yeah,
dead
Black
ass did
Bolt is in
Black
there.
Bolt right next to
Right
each
next to each
other.
other.
Yeah, but like we have things for locations. So like if you want to work at a shady bar or something like that, you got that in your places and your different residents for your locations. So if you want to like have like a prostitute for Heart of Gold, shout out to Julia Roberts. Um
I love
Pretty Woman
tables like
reference, guys.
this.
Yeah. But yeah, so you got that, your resident descriptors. So like, maybe they're prissy, maybe they're dangerous, or they're an upstanding citizen
Mm,
and stuff. But we have that for noir, we have that for shonen, we have that for supers, right? So there's a lot of stuff there, and people during the playtesting in the alpha version were like, hey, like we want more examples, we want more things for what our weapons and powers can be. So like, you want to make a hypersonic ring blade?
of course, obviously.
Go for it. Tell me what a hypersonic ring blade is. We have the examples in the final book that you can pair along with these tables. So if you don't have inspiration, we have got several D66 tables full of inspiration for you coming in the next and final update. Courtesy of Aaron. Like we have more traits and whatever. Like there's tons and tons of shit
Dang.
waiting for you in the final version of Tiebreaker. Like the Kickstarter, I'm spending the money as wisely as I can, and a lot of that is saying, "Hey, look at these really talented people that you've already heard of. They're doing work here." Again, like shout out to Gabe Hicks. Like
Yeah.
speaking of super talented people, uh, but like we've got tools, man. We got tools.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm always looking for like those fast tables that I can roll on just to get like a quick name, a quick whatever, just to like because sometimes, most of the time I can get it off the top of the dome, but sometimes my brain is just like I got nothing. Quick, give me that table. So I love
Yeah, I
that.
use fantasynamegenerators.com a lot too
Yeah.
for specifically that thing. That shit's like my lifesaver when I can't improv stuff, which is rare. I'm pretty good at improv, I think.
But
I like to think I
sometimes
am.
sometimes you just need it. Sometimes you just need that little boost, that little burst.
I used to tell this kid that I was mentoring, like speaking of like, oh man, I think like to not say shit like that. I was like, yo man, like if you're gonna be like in business, like you gotta come at that shit like a fucking rapper. Like you are
Mm,
the best in this game, you know.
right.
Um,
No
and I had a
question.
thought about that too. It's like, yo, like the funny thing about the term GOAT, right, greatest of all time,
Yeah.
like verbatim, there should be one, but
Right.
like I was thinking about it, and eventually the word started to mutate in
Mm-hmm.
meaning, right? Um, due to cultural appropriation, but I'm not going to do this in a negative spin. um, because rappers themselves were just calling like, "Yo, he's the goat, he's the goat, he's the
Mm.
goat," and I'm like, "Yo, it's okay to tie. We could all be goats."
That'd be pretty cool.
So I'm saying, like, if you do this business, you know what I'm saying, like I used to tell my homie like, yo, man, you gotta act like you the goat. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta pitch your shit like, yo, tiebreaker is the dopest, bar none.
You that's
Or tied with Nova. Nova's pretty
Oh,
dope
wow,
too.
okay. We can both be goats.
We can both be goats. See? Like like I'm in a like 30-way tie with a whole bunch of other really good developers.
There's a
But
lot of goats out there right now.
a lot of goats out there, but nobody does what I do better than me.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I am the goat at doing my shit.
Yeah.
Until somebody else does a fucking tactical narrative like combat shit, like whatever all the pitch I did. Y'all heard it earlier.
It was perfect the
Until
first
somebody
time.
does, yeah, it's perfect the first time. I'm running out of juice. that boathouse still worn off. I'm back on water. Like
Oh no.
the water don't hit the same,
It just
The
doesn't.
water does not hit the same. But you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, like whatever your niche is,
Yeah.
you are the best at it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, and you gotta come at it that way. Every time you talk to people, you're like, nigga, I'm the shit. My game's the shit. Everything I write is dope. Even on my bad days, my shit dope. You know
I
what I'm saying?
I love that. I fucking love that. Cause I
Yeah,
I don't do that. No.
yeah. I ain't gonna hold you, I have imposter syndrome like a motherfucker. I be talking about that shit on Twitter all the
Yeah.
time, but like I said, I'm performing right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like some of it is just fucking like machismo and bravado or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, like you gotta hit that shit like a motherfucking rapper. Like I'm out here spinning. You know what I'm saying? I got bars, drop the beat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Drop the beat. I spit heat on these streets. You know what I'm saying? Like I dress neat. I throw fucking bottles and shit. Like nigga, yeet. I'm practicing my freestyles because
This
I
is
was talking
a
to
great platform to do that on.
my homie CD Guanzon. He
Oh yeah.
wrote 99 Cent Chambers of Death, and you gotta have bars to be playing that game. So I was like, yo, we gonna play that game one day, and I'm about to rack everybody's shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, get me on stream playing 99 cents. I'm about dropping bars for days. Like, and I'm about to be sitting in the shower, like, with a rhyming dictionary, like fucking like Eminem. Like, lyrical, miracle, hysterical, spherical. That's not a word.
But it could be. If you say it with enough confidence, I'll believe that it's a word.
Lyrical, miracle, hysterical. Ferris cool talking about a faucet. That's not it, but I'm hot shit.
Oh,
Go off the top with any topic.
okay, this needs to happen. It needs to be a stream. I need to be able to see this because this sounds amazing. Hell yes. Um,
Yeah, it's like ever since that conversation last night, I'm just like rhyme, rhyme, rhyme,
you
rhyme,
should just
rhyme.
always be rhyming. Um,
Yeah,
hell yeah. Well, Nick, this has been like an absolute blast. You're at a boathouse. I'm out of coffee. Is there anything else that you wanted to to talk about? Is anything else burning at the top of your brain?
burning at the top of my brain. I mean, shit. I didn't already shut shit off the top of my brain. That was the whole point of that last little
There we go.
segment we did.
It was pretty
nah,
damn
but
good.
but for real though, I just want to make sure that people are taking care of themselves. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like we out in a pandemic right now. You know what I mean? And like you gotta be nice. Be nice to folks. And I'm not talking about that toxic positivity shit. Like when nigga act up, like hang that motherfucker. But like, other than that though, like we gotta be supportive of the crew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I ain't about that fucking hashtag TTRPG family shit. I don't know y'all motherfuckers. But
Yeah.
but different topic.
That's like a whole 2 hour
a
episode
whole
right
a whole
there.
2 hour episode on just that. But like, my closing notes is like for the folks that you do know, for your folks that are mutuals, you know what I'm saying? People supporting you, like, yo, take care of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, cause like we gotta do this shit for each other. You know what I mean? Like lift each other up. Like, that's part of the message I'm trying to pimp out the most with my games. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, like my games are about supporting the players, and I
Mm.
mean that from a personal level. You know what I'm saying? Like we build in our communities. You know what I'm saying? Communities are built on like relationships where people are taking the time to like check up on each other and like do for things other than yourself.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I put my shit out there and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's free marketing if you write my grooves or whatever. But like, I wrote all that advice in there because I know motherfuckers are out here trying to make games, but they ain't really like wanting to do mechanics like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I said, yo, use mine. Because I know a lot of motherfuckers are a lot more comfortable writing fluff in settings. I'm not. I'm not a setting guy.
Right.
Like I hire motherfuckers to do that.
Right.
Get at me next time we do a Kickstarter so I can do some setting shit for the book. If
Hell
you're one
yeah.
of those kind of dudes, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to put shit out on your own, though, like I put those mechanics in there, all that advice in there to write better mechanics so people can make games for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but it's a mutual helping each other kind of joint. You know what I'm saying? Like I get some free promotion out of that, but you get products.
Right.
Like you get that little sense of validation and shit where it's like, hey, like, yo, I did that shit. And you ain't gotta thank me. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though that feels cocky in its own right. That feels like I'm being like a little like
No.
disingenuous. I feel like I'm kind of like kicking myself in the foot for like talking like that, but like because like why did I pitch it into my own shit? You know what I'm saying? Like fuck my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like but take care of yourself is the thing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I hear you. I don't.
Like
I don't think you were coming
like
out as cocky. And yeah, I agree with Sam and Chad. I think some cockiness is good. I think some cockiness could be a good thing.
but it's just like I was trying to do a tie-in when I should have
Ah.
just been spitting facts. Is where I'm
Ah.
just like where like I'm fucking up. Like take everything about me personally aside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And apply it to taking care of you and taking care of your homies.
Yeah.
That's all I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like support your community. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter if I'm in it. like, like but support yours. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I
That's
love
all I
that.
got.
I love that. I think that's a fantastic message to end this on. I do need one more message from you though, because Tidebreaker is fucking amazing, and people need to be able to go find it. So, where's like the best place folks can like follow you or figure out more about Tidebreaker? Let's like put links in chat. I'll put links in all the descriptions of stuff. So, where should people find you online, Nick? In Tidebreaker.
And back to self promotion mode.
There we go.
Follow me at Follow My Blade on Twitch. All of my links are pretty much right there. So like you can get the tiebreaker on the hosted link on my profile. My Discord is right in my bio. Like everything that you need to know about me, right there. Like I don't even got no link tree because I only got 3 links and they all fit within that 169 characters or some shit they gave me. But yeah, just follow me on Twitter, yo. Like, follow me on Twitter. Everything else you need, the Tiebreaker pre-orders, the Tiebreaker Discord, the TiebreakerRPG.com website, right up in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Click that shit. Click the follow button. Nah, I mean,
Hell yeah.
like my post. Help me beat this algorithm.
Do it. The algorithm is not our friend. We gotta beat it.
The
We gotta destroy
algorithm
it.
is not your friend.
We gotta smash it, and we gotta look good while we're smashing it. AKA use tiebreaker.
Uh, yeah. Use tiebreaker. Write some tiebreaker grooves.
I am 100% gonna do that because it sounds amazing. It sounds super fun.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? The one thing that I don't have linked in my bio
Yeah.
is the quick start.
Oh,
Yeah, let me grab that real quick.
okay, yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Where the fuck did I
Yeah, for
put
folks
it?
who are interested in knowing, like seeing it right away,
Seen it right
Nick has
away,
put
and you ain't
together a
gotta
quick
wait
start
for
for you.
me more than the couple of seconds it's gonna take for me to find the damn file. Like
Good
I should
timing.
be, I should be quicker with that.
Nah, you got it. Don't worry about it.
All right, here's the quick start. I found it.
Heck yeah.
Quick start. And where is our chat
There's
so
a
I
little chat like
can?
in the to the right. There's like a little message button next to like the people.
Yeah, I sees it. Bong, there it is.
Boom. Copy this link. Let me toss it in chat there. There you go. Chat, it's in chat. I will have that in descriptions for things so folks can get into Tiebreaker right away because you got to get
And
into it.
spoiler alert: the fun thing about the tiebreaker quick start is it itself is a groove. So if you want to see how the grooves operate, play the quick start because it's an alteration of the actual tiebreaker rule set.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that. Show off the groove stuff right away and show off the concept of the system.
Yeah,
Um, well, Nick, this has been awesome. I have had a blast, like learning about Tiebreaker, talking about cool combat and stuff like that. Folks in chat were having a great time as well. So super appreciate you being here. This was a ton of fun. For folks watching along or listening along, Coffee Break will be back next week. I will be sitting down with Jay Dragon. Uh,
hey, my homie,
I can't wait to talk to Jay. We're gonna talk
Jay the
about
big homie.
we're gonna talk about a whole bunch of cool stuff. I think we might have a second guest. I don't know. We're still waiting to confirm that, but that is next week. And then Babblegum Sam, who is in chat, is gonna be here the week after that to talk about Lumen Rider, the game that is up on itch funding right now. A very cool Lumen game. So
Yo, follow Babblegum.
yeah,
If y'all like me, follow Babblegum.
mm-hmm,
Because
100%.
me and Babblegum are like we like very similar personalities, very similar game development style. Babblegum's funnier to me though.
Ah, I don't know, Nick. You're pretty funny. You're pretty. This has been a blast. So I'll see it when I'm talking with Sam in 2 weeks. I'll compare. I'll think about it. I'll
I
see.
feel like I feel like Sam can keep up the energy longer than me though.
Oh, I see. Well, I can't stay
Yeah,
much longer than an hour
like
anyway. So
on the Twitter on Sam's Twitter, it's very consistent.
hell yeah, gotcha. Hell yeah. Um, well, awesome. This has been great. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, everybody at home, listening, watching, all that. We will see you all next week. Have yourselves a great rest of the day. Bye, everybody.
Deuces.